You are now about to witness the strength of street knowledge.
What's up, everybody? How y'all doing? It is your girl, your diva knowledge, Lady Mocha, representing Mocha's Cafe de Paris. Also have my second channel for women only, Mocha's Ladies Lounge. I'm going to be uploading this content to both channels. I'm basically trying to also get, my subscriber for Mocha's Ladies Lounge, those who feel comfortable enough to come to my co-ed channel, Mocha's Cafe de Paris. So, nevertheless, y'all, I thought it was imperative that I talked about this. Go ahead and hit that like button. Appreciate y'all for coming in, viewing the content. So, as y'all know, right, if you are not familiar with me, I've done corrections for 3 years, back in 2019, 1920, all the way up until, I believe, 22, the very beginning of 2022, right? So, corrections is not a job for the weak. It's not a profession for the weak. You work a lot of strenuous hours. You are never home. You are going to be with inmates more than your own husband, more than your own children. It does take a toll on your mental as well as your physical. Physical, you are deprived of sleep. You're constantly on your feet. You have to break up fights. You have to deal with combative inmates who don't want to lock down, who don't want to follow instructions. Not only that, you have to deal with the mental stress that comes with it, because you have a lot of your supervisors that are going to be over you that abuse their authority, abuse their rank. So it's a lot that comes with this type of profession, right? And it's not built for everyone. And it's especially not built for weak women, those who can easily be manipulated by the opposite sex. In most instances, it's going to always be more female officers that get caught up compared to male officers, because unlike male officers, most of the time they're restricted to only being in supervision over male inmates. Female officers, on the other hand, are in supervision of not just female inmates, but also male inmates. So the chances of a female officer getting caught up is 20 times higher than a male officer, because she's dealing with the opposite sex. And I know a lot of people have argued this and said, hey, women don't need to be working in prisons. Women don't need to be around men. Women don't need to, be in that type of profession. But it's not the woman. It's her mindset, okay? It has nothing to do with the fact that she's a woman, she shouldn't be around men. It has everything to do with her mindset, her maturity, her experience, her wisdom, her knowledge, and being able to carry herself as a grown woman in this type of profession and not allow thirst, not allow lack of discernment, not allow lack of intelligence to unfortunately cause her to get caught up in this type of situation. So here it is, right? You got Miss Siobhan Culbreath in this thumbnail that you see. Hadn't even been an officer for a good year and already was baited by an inmate. Now, this happens very commonly, especially with female officers, who have not been within the force. And I would say most of the time, you know what I mean? The chances are higher for rookie officers, for rookie female officers, because she doesn't have the experience. She doesn't have the knowledge. She's not seasoned. She's not broken in. And the bad part is I really blame these jails, because when I show y'all the information I'm getting ready to show y'all, I blame human resource. I blame HR. I blame the jails for letting certain women, you know what I mean, for hiring certain women to join this type of profession. I would have known just by looking at her. And I know you don't judge a book by its cover, but when I show you the video, it's going to make sense. Just the way she talks, her whole demeanor, just definitely displays that you are not built for this type of profession. You don't want a female in this type of profession that seems insecure, doesn't seem very confident, doesn't really know how to articulate herself fully. I just think that, this profession is not built for certain women. You know what I'm saying? Nevertheless, right, you have a lot of these jails that have become desperate with staff. So they're pretty much hiring anybody to fill in these positions because it's all about numbers, and they're not taking into consideration that you have to hire people who are built for this type of profession, because it not only reflects poorly on the jails that are hiring these officers, but it becomes a safety hazard, not just for the inmates but for the other officers. Because if you're hiring officers that are allowing inmates to get over and run game, it can very well put other officers in jeopardy. Because if you're smuggling in contraband, smuggling in drugs, smuggling in weapons, those same drugs can be used to put officers' well-being in safety. It could jeopardize an officer's safety and well-being. Okay, if you're dealing with an inmate that's high, everybody doesn't behave the same when they're high compared to when they're not high. Some inmates are combative. They want to fight officers. They seeing pink elephants and shit. It's a lot when you're dealing with inmates that are high or on some type of drug. Or if you're smuggling contraband like weapons, that same weapon that you're sneaking in for the inmates, they can use that against the officer and injure the officer, or worst case scenario, unalive the officer. All right. So you got your girl here, Siobhan, and I'm going to share the story with y'all before we go into when they actually sit down and have a talk with her regarding how she ended up getting caught up with this inmate. Keep in mind, this happened in Bernalillo County, which is in Mexico. Okay, that is where this jail is located. All right, so Bernalillo County Jail corrections officer was arrested and fired after allegedly having sex with an inmate and possibly giving a person an STD. Siobhan Culbreath, 29, was charged with criminal sexual penetration and attempting to bring contraband to the jail. Now keep in mind, this happened 2024 of September. So this is not too long ago. You get what I'm saying? This happened this year. So the detention center spokesperson Hopkins said Culberth was removed from her post, placed under arrest and booked. She is held in a special handling unit, which is an area where high-profile inmates or inmates with special needs. So, of course, they couldn't put her in general population. It's too risky, to put an officer that's known in that jail as an officer amongst other inmates. They just cannot do that. They have to put them in custody, protection. You get what I'm saying? So anyway, no, this actually happened. My apologies. She had started working there October 2023, and since then has been fired. Okay, she was a probationary employee, so meaning she had not all the way been she hadn't been fully hired as of yet. She was within her probationary period. You got some of these jails, the probationary period could vary anywhere from 30 to 90 days. And it's just to make sure you are built for the job before they actually say, okay, we're going to go ahead and employ you here, as an officer of ABCD Attention Center, whatever the case is. So she hadn't even made it past the basics. So they got a hold of her relatively quickly. And we're going to discuss that as time goes on, right? So anyway, and she's been released since then, y'all, right? But, of course, with restrictions and all of that. But anyway, she was held at the Metropolitan Detention Center. Her attorney couldn't be reached for the comment. Her actions was a major impediment to the running of our facility that requires strict adherence of rules of conduct for both the inmates and correction officers, said the prosecutors. The incident was being investigated by the Bernalillo County Sheriff's Office. MDC leadership is deeply disappointed. So, as always, whenever an officer gets exposed or gets caught up, the spokesperson of the jail wants to make it clear, to save face, like, we disappointed, we didn't expect this, we hold our officers to a high standard, and this is an embarrassment, and this will not be tolerated. We will get rid of corrupt officers. That's basically what they were saying. So, according to the criminal complaint filed at Metropolitan Court, the inmate on Tuesday alleged being assault. Deputy said surveillance video showed Culberth and the inmate entered a broom closet on August 25th. During that time, the door shook as if something is rocking back and forth against it. So they was smashing, they was getting it in, right? The complaint states the inmate told the BCSO detective he and Culberth had sexual relations for a few months. Deputies said the inmate told him that he tested positive for gonorrhea on September 10th, which provoked him to basically snitch on her. So you can already tell this dude is full of crap, because he been smashing his female and he was enjoying every bit of it. He manipulated her, got in her head, which eventually gave him a pass to get in between her legs. So now he wants to basically cry victim. Like, this woman took advantage of me. She assaulted me. You Negro, you was a willing participant. But that's how these inmates do. But anyway, the complaint states that Culberth told the detective she denied having physical contact, but later telling them that in the spring the inmate told her he was going to do her like he did his baby mama. She told the detective she bought in candy and other food for the inmate just so he wouldn't bother her, which is the dumbest thing you could ever do. You never ever start that with an inmate. Once you do one favor, they got you. I don't care if you bring them a pack of gum. You give them anything, they own you now, because they're going to use that against you. Hey, you gave me that gum, you gave me the pack of cookies, I can report you for that. And I know you don't want to lose your job over no cookies, over no bubble gum. So from this point on, you know what I'm saying, if you want to keep your job, I advise you, you got to keep that energy going. Whenever I need you to look out for me, I need you to continue to look out for me. This is what I'm saying. These jails do not care who the hell they hire, right? Deputy said Culberth told the inmate said he would report her for bringing the contraband if she did not kiss him. All this is straight game, y'all. So she leaned into the cell and kissed him. She told the detective they would kiss multiple times, sometimes in the cell and sometimes in the closet, in the supply closet. Basically what he was doing, he kept her in bondage with him. Okay, he basically held her in captivity. You know what I'm saying? This is the worst position any officer could put herself in. And he kept doing that to keep her in bondage, with always owning him, with always having to look out for him, always having to take care of him. That's why he kept telling her, you need to give me a kiss, you need to bring me candy. All of this is to keep her in confinement with him. You know what I mean? Because now he can use all that against her. You've been kissing me, you've been bringing me candy, so now it's like, as an officer, because you fear this dude retaliating, not understanding he's going to do that eventually anyway, because eventually you're going to get caught, right? So it does not matter what all you do to try to please him at this point. It's never going to be enough, and eventually you're going to get caught, because a lot of these ninjas, they don't understand. They're not even good at using officers. My thing is, if I'm an inmate and I got a female or officer looking out for me, I'm not going to burn my bridge, because if she gets fired, who am I going to have to sneak in my candy? Who am I going to have to sneak in my contraband, my cigarettes? A lot of these dudes are very slow. You know what I mean? And their own ego gets in the way. Because they got to run their mouth and let it be known, hey, look what I got her doing for me. It's about ego. And what they do is they run their mouth, tell the other ninjas in their pod. And this gives the other ninjas an opportunity to come at her too. Well, I already know you looking out for my boy, this and that. So, I mean, if you don't want me to report that you doing for my boy, I mean, you going to have to look out for me too. It spirals and gets out of control. He knew exactly what it was doing. This officer had to be remedial. She had to be remedial. I would be surprised if she graduated with a high school diploma or a GED. But let's keep going, right? Culberth told deputies that in August she and the inmate had sex in a supply closet after the inmate again threatened to blackmail her, according to the complaint. Culberth told detectives that on Monday the inmate asked her to bring cannabis hidden inside a breakfast burrito, which she retrieved from the inmate's friend at a Walmart. Deputies said Culberth decided against bringing the burrito into the jail, and it was in the refrigerator in her home. Alright, so we're going to watch this little video here right quick, y'all. An example of what not to never do. Oh boy, okay, I want to make sure.
An MDC officer arrested accused of an illegal relationship with an inmate. Siobhan Culbreath was taken into custody Tuesday. She is also accused of receiving contraband from a person outside the building with the intention of smuggling it inside. Both BCSO and MDC is investigating. Culberth had been with corrections for only about a year.
Huh? That's usually when it happens, you know what I mean? They want to get a fresh meat. They want to get you, you know, when you're new, before you're fully trained, before you really catch on to all the game. Inmates love new officers. Inmates love inexperienced officers. Most importantly, they love female officers that got low self-esteem. Okay? You know, these are the type of women they sought after. And let me tell you something, these inmates are smart. They can tell by the way you look, you know, they intentionally try to target women that are not that attractive. This does not mean they won't target attractive officers, but they most likely like to take advantage of women who they feel have low self-esteem. But they'll take advantage of any officer. It really does not matter. But in her case, and we're getting ready to go into, you know, the video here, right? In her case, I can definitely tell this inmate knew right off the muscle that she was going to be easy prey. Just the way she talks, the way she articulates herself, y'all will be able to pick that up. You know, I'm going to ask y'all a question. Once I play this video, is this someone that just based off of her demeanor, based off of her presence, the way she conducts herself, do you think that she would have been qualified to perform this kind of profession? If you think she would have been qualified to, well, we know now, but just basically what I'm saying, you would just know, you know what I mean? Because at this point, I can't even make that an option and say, is she capable or not capable? Because she already did it. So I can't even, like, you know what I mean, make this, I can't formulate that question like, is she, would you not know if she's capable of this job or not? Because we know she's not. So this will be my question, right? Just listen to her. Would you not be able to tell that she's not qualified for this type of job? But anyway, I'm going to go ahead and play it. I'm going to try to play the important parts. It's 30 minutes. It's going to take up too much of the content. So we'll see. We'll see. We'll play it by ear. Let's go. Now, basically, right, she's already been, before I play the video, she's already been exposed, okay? They already have the evidence and everything they need, like they say. Anytime a law enforcement, if they call you in to question you about something, 9 times out of 10 they already know you did it. It's just boils down to you admitting it. That's basically what it is. They already got all the receipts. They already got all the proof. They done did months and months of thoroughly investigating, and at this point, they just want to see if you're going to confess. And if you don't confess, they gonna push the receipts anyway and show you that we already got you. So just be prepared. If you already know you've been doing something you ain't got no business doing and you're under investigations, just go ahead and admit it, because they already got all the receipts, they already got everything they need or whatever to already pretty much verify you did what you did. But that's why they got her in here, y'all. She was actually working that day, and they'll do that. They'll let you come in and work knowing it's already been discussed behind your back with your superiors and with the sheriff of that jail. We're going to call her in today at 11 o'clock, 12 o'clock, because they got to get you from your post soon. They can't let you go a whole day and finish your shift. Not with these type of allegations. So most likely it's early in the morning, and they want her to be comfortable. They don't want you to flee the scene. Of course, they're not going to warn you and say, we're going to terminate you today, we're going to bring you in today. That's what they'll do. They'll let you come in, they'll let you clock in, let you go to your post, all of that, and they already done talked to another officer and said, hey, we're going to get Officer Culberth, we're going to need you to take over her shift for the rest of the week. Everybody already knows but you what's going down, okay? So they'll call you up and say, hey, Beecham, Officer Sergeant so-and-so of Internal Affairs, because Internal Affairs is who investigates officers. Internal Affairs IA wants to have a conversation with you. That already should let you know right then, oh hell, I'm in some deep sugar honey iced tea. Especially if you were doing what she did. Not if they just want you to, they just need a statement from you because you witnessed some officers fighting or something like that or whatever. But if you already know you've been doing something you shouldn't have been doing, and you got to talk to IA, you already know what's going down. So they done already got her schedule given to the officers for the rest of the week, whatever her schedule was, because she's not going to be coming back working as an officer anymore. All right, so she is totally unaware, but trust and believe, her co-workers, her staff, everybody already knows what's going down, and she's being investigated as of right now as we speak, while somebody else is taking over her schedule, taking over her post, which is a pain in the ass, because every time an officer gets fired, guess what? That makes it hard on all the other officers that are not fired, because somebody got to pull all her damn shifts, which is a pain in the ass. I went through that a lot. Every time officers quit or got fired, it's just a whole hot ass mess. But let's go.
But a few months ago, I did see a CO give a beer with coffee beans. So I was like, oh, he's been here for long, and he didn't hide it. So one day, I forgot what candy I gave Dwayne. I did give him like some candy. And then
you gave him some candy. I know good damn well before you got hired, they trained you and specified multiple times, never give an inmate anything. No candy, no nothing. No pencils, no anything. Anything they need to get that through commissary, whatever. She already felt the assignment. Let's go.
Since then, he's been saying like he's going to tell, and I was thinking that I didn't do anything wrong because somebody else did it, another CO did it.
You peep what she just said. She didn't think she was doing anything wrong by giving him what she gave him, because she peeped other officers doing it with inmates. So by her being a rookie, and that's what I'm saying, a lot of officers get tainted by watching a lot of crooked officers, and that's why you have to have your own common sense, your own discernment. So her being a rookie, she's seen other officers doing it, so she didn't think nothing was wrong with it.
And I guess it started from there because he keeps coming to my desk trying to talk me into.
We pause on that. It's never good when an inmate comes to your desk too many times. He's always in your face, and I didn't play that. I didn't play having an inmate in my face too many times. I didn't play having the same inmate always at my desk. If they're in your face too much, you're making them comfortable. Eventually, they're going to draw the line. That means he's slowly but surely getting ready to run the show. You know what I mean? He's trying to take over. You're trying to take over by constantly being up in your face. That's unprofessional. That's not a good look. When the same inmate is in your face too many times, he's getting way too comfortable with you. And as an officer, that is your job to let that inmate know, because it happened to me a couple of times. I had a couple of guys, you know, most of them was cool. I didn't have a lot of problems, right? But it'd always be one or two that would try to take shit to the next level. You know, I knew, okay, you come to my desk once, maybe twice, maybe even a third, depending on. But you're to my desk 5-6 times a day. Nah, you're doing too much. You're trying to smell me out. You're trying to overly make yourself familiar with me. And I didn't play shit like that. But anyway, let's go.
Because of what I gave him. And there are times where I do go to his cell and feel like so if you, I don't know if you see every unit, but I sat out of the cell a certain way, like halfway in, halfway out, because I have my foot on the outside of the door. And then this time he tried to do the hand gesture to grab me in, and he even says that I just want to put you in here. I'm like, no, that's not gonna happen.
See, already this cat done smell her out. He's taking things way too far with her, playing with her, trying to make her come in his cell. See, you have overly invited this ninja into being too comfortable with you. You have what's called personal space. No inmate should ever feel comfortable to where he's telling you, I want you in my cell. You need to come in here. He's so close to you to where if you were to reach out your arm, you know what I mean? He's just that close. All of that is too close for comfort. This guy knew exactly. He knew this female didn't know nothing. He knew that, and he capitalized on that.
And there's times where he'll touch my arm, and then I think maybe 3 or 4 times he did ask for the broom, and I told him just to go get it because I think 1 or 2 times I didn't have gloves and I didn't want to touch it because the stick wasn't a part of the bottom brush. You have to connect it, and I didn't want to get my hands dirty and stuff.
An inmate should never ever touch you. Never ever ever, right? And let me tell you something. It's easy to get comfortable. I'm not going to sit up here and act like I always had my game on lock, right? But I remember I was in a situation one time. There was this inmate in which he always helped me collect trays or conduct what's called chow, which is basically breakfast in the morning. That's when you pass out all the trays to the inmates, and after everybody eats, then y'all go and collect all the trays, which I hated. I liked the disposable trays better because all you had to do was go and collect those disposable trays and make them put it in the trash. But the hard trays, I hated it because you had to collect all of them back so the hard trays can return back to the kitchen, which is just more goddamn work for the officers. Nevertheless, one of the inmates, like I say, he was a cool guy, you know, never gave me any problems or whatever. And you know, we would laugh, joke, you know. I mean, being an officer, you human. You're still a human being. They're gonna say funny stuff. They're gonna say, you know, whatever. And he just kind of unknowingly, maybe it was intentional or unintentional, he kind of took his hand and kind of, you know, pat me on my shoulder like pat, you know, like that, you know. And just instantly, I did not feel right. Because I already felt like, okay, nah, you homegirling me. You homegirling me, you sister girling me. You know, that's harmless on the outside. But in jail, listen, you got to pay attention to every single thing. Just the way a guy looks at you, not a guy. Just the way an inmate looks at you, the way he jokes with you, the way he ha and hits, you know, all of that is harmless. But sooner than later, it's going to get out of hand. So being that we had a whole lot going on that morning, I'm trying to collect trays, I didn't say anything right then and there. Plus, I always made it my business. When I talk to inmates, I pull them aside. I don't like to call them out in front of their homeboys because they don't like to be put on Front Street. They quick to get offended, and they can just receive you better when you pull them aside versus calling them out. So I didn't say nothing, right? And I couldn't say nothing that day because the other officer was coming in and all of that. So it just was too much going on. But something about it was just not sitting well with me. It made me uneasy, you know, because I do not think no man even in a jokingly manner, should be patting me on my shoulder. You get what I'm saying? Next, you'll try to pat me on my ass and all of that, right? So, came to work the next day. And I know I was going to see him the next day because I was in a different, we rotated, right? But the next time I saw him, I said, I'm going to make sure I check this right then. Because I don't want this getting out of hand, right? So, let me tell you how manipulative these dudes are. Peep this, right? That's why I say you got to be built for this type of profession. So, when I was assigned back into that pod, and like I said, he was the main tray guy. He helped with the trays, right? So, I said, yeah. I said, look here, I'm going to just say Johnson. I said, yeah, because I called nobody last name right. I said, Johnson. I said, look here, man. I said, I know I haven't seen you the last time. Make sure I got him by himself. You know what I mean? I ain't want to confront him in front of nobody. I said, but, yeah, you know, look here, just for future reference, you know, you probably didn't mean no harm. But I'm just letting you know, you can't pat me on my shoulder like that. And he was like, huh? I said, yeah, man. I said, you know, I ain't saying you meant harm or you didn't. But just for future reference, you cannot have any physical contact with me. You know, because I don't want any problems. And all it takes is for one person to see you do it. And then I'm going to have other guys in here doing that. I said, and I know you probably ain't meant no harm. That's why I'm talking to you silently about it. I'm not going to write you up. I'm not going to make it no issue. And he was like, okay, cool, I understand. But let me tell you how conniving they are, right? This is what he says to me. He says, well, with all due respect, Officer T, I haven't seen you in like 2-3 days. And you just now telling me, so that means you've been thinking about, how did he say it? He said, you've been thinking about me all this time to now getting to the point to tell me this. Other words, he was trying to basically say that for me to wait a couple of days, that meant I had been meditating on it and I had been thinking about him. That's what he was trying to insinuate. So, to flip the script, because I knew that was his way of trying to run game, trying to say, oh, so that touch meant something to you. Because you waited all this time to wait until now. I said, no. I said, I didn't want to say this, but let me tell you. Somebody caught you on camera. And my supervisor pulled me aside. That's why I'm telling you. I said, and to eliminate the problem, I told my supervisor that I would talk to you about it when I saw you. He's like, okay. I'm like, that's what I said. These inmates, they take simple, small stuff. They got all day to sit up there. They try to come up with corrupt, manipulative ass tactics just to, like, you know, run game on you. You know, something as harmless. Like I said, something as simple. It's been several other incidences that I'll probably go into depending on how much time. But this is what I'm saying. They feed and pick up on everything. So this guy already knew the fact that she brought him candy. The fact that he, you know, had brushed up on her shoulder. All this making these little small touches. That's how it got so far. That small disrespect will lead to major disrespect. Them inmates know they're not supposed to touch you in no shape or form. They had got the handbook. They know the rules. They know the rules better than you. He just spotted one of the weakest links, and he capitalized off of that.
Because I don't know where they've been or whatever. And I think maybe the second or third time, he was saying, well, we've been at this, we keep going to the cars, they're going to think nothing, I'm not doing anything, I'm just going to use the room. And there has been times where there was water on the floor. The last time, I don't know the date, so I'm assuming it's that date. He did like kiss me, and then he said that he's gonna tell either that I didn't do anything or we at the closet. I was like, I'm just trying to give you the room. And then he tried to unbuckle, and I told him to stop. I pushed him away, and then he kept coming towards me, like at the door, and then there was water, and I wasn't trying to slip. And then he was saying that when I kiss you, they're gonna, like, I kept getting paranoid because I didn't want anybody to like see me at the closet when I'm doing it. So he's the one that unbuckled and turned me around. I wasn't on top of him. I didn't do anything. He turned me around and did it from the back. And then he told me afterwards, I told you that I was gonna do it.
Do y'all hear how she sounds? she's sounding like she was helpless. In other words, the inmate have full control. He got you to be alone with him in a genital closet. He unbuckled your pants. You didn't scream rape. You didn't scream stop, don't do this. And he basically hit you doggy style. I mean, if you are this helpless, there's no way in hell. They got her out of here in time, because if they didn't, all them inmates would have ran through her. I'm telling you now. Once they got a whiff of him smashing her, it would have got out of control. She would have been smashing half of the inmates throughout that whole pod, because everybody would have wanted in. Everybody was going to find out, and they was going to start blackmailing her. Wow.
I just didn't know if you felt uncomfortable saying all that stuff in front of them.
That was part of it is.
Okay.
Swing shift on, like, what day?
Well, it's like we're in September, so like when do you think like that happened?
It was at least probably 3 weeks ago.
3 weeks ago? So in August?
Yes.
Okay. But you said back, let me just go back. So, and you said you got here in February?
Yes. But it was just him talking.
Okay. And then you said in April, May, he was still trying to like talk and everything.
He kept saying, he said his first baby mama was a CO, so I'm gonna do it. She was like, no, you're not. And then he kept saying that for a while. And then decided when I did give him something, because I did see another CO give the inmate stuff, and I was like, oh, and there wasn't any trying to hide it. And then I was like, well, if they're still here, but I don't know their names, because I'm bad with names. I only talk to 3 people here. And then he kept bribing me with that, like, oh, you gave me this, so you have to keep doing this and that.
That's how they do. He even went so far as to saying his first baby mama, or his baby mama, used to be a CO. So already he's taken over her life. He's taken over her job. He done already told her, hey, you already got you doing this and doing that. I'm going to need you to continue doing this and doing that. And that's all it takes. One favor and you belong to them.
And I kept like,
so that was happening after you gave him the candy?
Yeah, after. I forgot what kind of candy, but yeah.
Okay. So last night you said that he wanted you to bring something in, and
I texted her.
You texted her?
To meet me. Do you need the location?
Yeah, I'm gonna get everything down, and then I'll ask for all that. Okay. So you texted her from the text now number?
Yes.
Okay.
It's wrapped up, and it's underneath. It's in the burrito on the top of it.
Basically, she's explaining that an item she was supposed to bring in, she left it at her house. And he's questioning her, the investigator, whatever. He's doing all this and that because, again, he has to get a statement from her. All of this is going to be, going towards her in her post. What they're doing is they're building a file, and they're getting all of her information. This is the procedure in order for the jail to protect themselves, to show that we followed the protocol. We got all the information we needed from the officer. We got it from the inmate. So we're going to conduct this investigation. We're going to go to her house and collect all the items that, the item that she was supposed to bring to the jail. Again, they have to have all of these, all of this information solid and put together. That way, when they take this to court, they can show the judge that, hey, this officer, she was well aware of what she was doing. She was well aware that she was violating and bringing an oath. We even got proof of it through her statements admitting to it. And we're going to also go to her home and see if the evidence is there. So she's giving them all of this information, which she could have waited till she got an attorney or whatever. But when you don't know what you're in for, and you're a rookie, an unseasoned officer, anybody can tell you anything and make you feel like you got the answer to it. So basically, the investigator, he's playing a role. He's talking cool, calm, collective. And it has nothing to do with him being a nice guy. I mean, I've seen people say, oh, the detective is being really nice. It got nothing to do with that. He knows that if he wants to get all the information he needs out of this officer, he's got to be calm. He has to be cool. He cannot be like judging her and saying things like, that's so dumb. How could you do this? You're not going to, a person is going to be less reluctant to admitting things to you if you're being an ass. You know what I'm saying? So this got nothing to do with him being a nice guy. He's doing his job and he's staying cool, calm, and collective so he can get all the information he needs out of this rookie officer.
So it's in a bag.
Well, yes, the Lexus. Yes.
Lexus. Okay.
And then she put a remote foil around the griddle.
And did you had to give her anything in return?
No, she just, I didn't even know where she was, but I parked and she said, I'm coming to you. So she walked to my car, gave me the plate and left. You know?
So basically, if this doesn't sound any crazier, this officer was working with the inmate's baby mama on getting the drugs and smuggling contraband and drugs or whatever into the jail. So it sounds like the baby mama had made it or however and passed it to her. By her being an officer, that made it that gave the inmate access for him to run orders. This is what I say, these inmates are running the jail. He basically told the baby mama to probably go to one of his connections, his plug in the street, told the baby mama to get it from the plug, then told the baby mama to send it to her slow, simple ass, which is his officer here. And the rest is history.
Do you know her name or what she went by?
I don't know her name at all.
Alright. He didn't tell you like it's my...
He always said baby mama, so it's the newborn one. He last month he was born.
Okay. And that's not the baby mama that used to be a CO?
No. It was, well, I don't know if he's telling the truth, but it is. It's not the CO because she texted me saying that, how far are you? Because I had to go get gas and food. Because I have my...
I'm going to speed this up a little bit.
Newborn here, so it's the...
That's okay. Was that yours? Seashore. Good stuff, man. Yes. Yeah. So here's what we'll do. Okay, I'll get you. Actually, let's just go inside. Okay. You mind if I hold on to it for a second? All right.
Okay, so I guess they had her to get her phone. I guess that's their way of being able to look through her phone to see what other evidence they could collect and find.
Did you know that like at a young age?
I've been back and forth. My family's from here, so I did go to. I'll eventually get it back, so I don't need.
What's that?
I'll eventually get it back. I don't need.
Yeah, it's just gonna be a little bit. Yeah. So I'm quite know.
Do I want to her Facebook and stuff, or?
No, so what I'm just gonna do is I'm just gonna put it into like airplane mode.
Again, they're looking through her phone to see what other evidence they can put with the packet in order to prove, you know what I'm saying, that she is definitely her role, all of what she contributed, into this violation with this whole incident that occurred, right? So basically, they're going to go to her house, y'all, and search for the item that was prepared for her to send to the inmate. That's all they're doing. I'm not going to waste my time showing y'all looking through her house and all of that. So that's a waste of time.
Alright, Siobhan. Are they already talked to you and everything?
Yes.
Okay. So here's what's gonna happen next, okay? We need you to stand up. We need you to turn around.
Can I take this off?
You need anything else from her? No? Okay. Questions and everything for you down there, okay? Okay. You want to take this with you? I'll hold on to it. An imprisonment, like a prison facility. So let me explain, okay? So I understand what you're saying is that none of this was like consensual on your part, that you were scared and that he was going to report you and everything else like that, okay? So I understand that aspect, but again, like, and I'm sure it was explained to you in the academy because I went through the CO academy, okay? You're the CO, they're an inmate, okay? Nothing in there is consensual, nothing in there. You technically by state law are in a position of power and authority over him.
So let me tell you what that means, right? Even if I say as an officer, well, he made me, he took advantage of me, there's no such thing, It's being an officer is a very, very fragile position, and it's nothing to be played with. To give y'all a better concept, that is like you being a teacher. You being a high school teacher, and you're having a sexual relation with one of your students. And even though that student was probably the aggressor, approaching you, being fresh with you, rubbing up on you, the fact that you complied and you did not put that student in their place, the fact that you didn't report that student, you're automatically at fault. Why? Because you are in authority over that individual. So there's no such thing as I was scared, so I went along with it because I didn't want to make him mad. I didn't want to make him upset. He was threatening me. If he was threatening you, you should have reported it to your superior. You should have got his ass up out of your unit. You can't get inmates removed from your unit. When I felt like an inmate was doing the most or doing too much, and I did everything I could to try to handle the matters myself, and I still haven't been able to get that inmate to comply, now it's time for me to report him. I'm not going to keep trying to battle with this inmate, you know what I'm saying? And to the point to where, I become so fearful of him that I end up giving in to him and just doing what he says do. Like the officer was telling her, nah, you already know in the academy they have stressed this to you. These inmates are under your care, meaning you are there to supervise them. You are there to provide whatever it is they need. And I'm not talking about head, and I ain't talking about booty. You're supposed to provide them with their medicine, with their hygienic products. You have a job to do, basically. So there's no such thing as that inmate played you, that inmate tried you, that inmate manipulated you. You are supposed to be the one in charge. You're supposed to be running things, not the inmate. And that's why I said a lot of these jails, they are hiring anybody because they should have been asking her questions. If an inmate approaches you, how would you handle it? If an inmate asks you to do something, how would you handle it? You have to thoroughly mentally check these officers out to make sure they're capable of being able to deal with these type of inmates. So she's trying to put it off on the inmate, like he threatened me, I was afraid of him. None of that don't matter, ma'am. If you was afraid of him, you should have got him removed from your unit. or either you should have asked them to remove you to a different unit. There was 1,000 different ways she could have handled this. Just sounds like to me she was not a very confident woman. She was not about business, basically. You know what I'm saying? She let this inmate run her to the point to where he got her in a janitor closet, unbuckled her pants, and smashed her right then and there. So it sounds like to me you wanted this inmate to take control of you. You wanted to be wanted. You wanted to be desired. Listen, if you're a lonely woman, or if you're a thirsty woman, if you're a woman that's lacking attention, I don't advise you to work in a correctional facility full of men. Because you're going to see something in there you like, even if it's no good. Me working in these type of facilities, the only reason why I didn't fall prey to the game, because I knew those guys did not want me. They wanted me for what they could use me for. And anytime you go into this profession, you got to be real with yourself. These guys do not like you. They're not feeling you like that. They're not attracted to you like that. It's all about, can I get her to be a sucker? Can I simp her? Listen, you're the one on the outside. They need outside connections. They need an officer that's going to do what they need them to do, because they don't have no connections within that jail. They're restricted. They can get whatever they can get from other inmates, but it's nothing like having an officer who you can get to bring in things for you, because that's a bonus for them. For an inmate to get an officer who they can get to do anything. And as always, in the end, it costs you. And that's exactly what happened in this situation, y'all. So I'm going to exit out of here there, because you're not going to pretty much see nothing no more than they're going to transfer her to the next jail. They're going to undress her. And let me tell you something. This is very embarrassing. It's very embarrassing when all your co-workers who you don't work with find out about it. Even more so you on the news. Even more so your family, your friends. You know what I'm saying? I mean, my termination was over some petty stuff. All because I reported a supervisor who was doing some shady shit to me. Okay? And I reported it. You know what I'm saying? So these jails have alliances. They have certain officers they want to look out for. You know what I mean? So I could only imagine getting terminated, but off the pretenses of an inmate throwing you up under the bus because he claims you gave him an STD. See, he got more than what the hell he bargained for. And that's what he get for taking advantage of a female who he knew was slow, who he knew wasn't seasoned, like the other officers. And he capitalized off of that, and he ended up with the Ninja Turtle, the package. Get what I'm saying? Nothing's more embarrassing than to get that termination paper, have to turn in your badge, turn in your uniform, get that letter, get that notice that, you know, you will no longer be allowed to come back to the property of XXX detention center, blah, 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 this, and that. Nothing is wrong with getting fired or quitting. But when you get fired because of an inmate manipulating you, that's a whole nother level of embarrassment. I saw shit that the supervisor was doing I wasn't going to stand for. Because you got a personal animosity towards me. You are intentionally like adding more hours to my schedule, and you're not doing it to other officers. So they terminated me for being insubordinate. Because basically I wouldn't kiss her ass, and I'm good with that. And I'm still allowed to work, you know, in the state of Georgia, you know what I mean, as an officer. But after all of what I went through, seeing that the officers are way more corrupt than the inmates, I said, nah, I'm not going to, you know what I mean, confine myself to being an employee of such a hostile environment. You know what I mean? If your own staff is backstabbing you. On top of that, I got to watch the staff, and then I got to watch the inmates. Nah, I can't work peacefully, you know what I'm saying, in a hostile environment. So I said, hey, I'm not going to appeal it. I'm not going to fight it. Y'all can take this badge and shove it up y'all ass, because I'm not dealing with all of this, you know what I mean? I already see y'all want slaves. Because to me, correctional officers, that's just another form of enslavement. It is, because you're doing time with the inmates. You're in there 16 hours a day with them. You know, you can't go nowhere like they can't go nowhere. You can't have your cell phone like they can't have their cell phones. You just become, you know, an employed inmate. Because that's really what you are. You're restricted like they're restricted. You know what I mean? You can't just up and leave and go when you want to go. And the main thing is those hours, you know what I mean? But that just comes with the territory. It works for some people. Some people been in corrections for 30, 40 something years and they done retired from it. So, you know, some people love corrections, you know what I'm saying? It just was not for me, you know. But I'm glad I was able to learn a lot about, you know, I learned a lot about how corrupt people can be. And, you know what I mean, how you got to be mindful of flattery. Just because somebody compliments you, it does not mean they like you. Just because somebody criticizes you, it does not mean they hate you. Do not fall for fake flattery. Anybody can tell you you do a good job, knowing you're doing a bad job just to set you up for failure. You feel me? And corrections is one of those places when you start speaking your mind too much, you become a problem. And that was definitely me. I became a problem at the agency where I work because I was speaking my mind too damn much. A lot of stuff I wasn't going for, and they hate that. A lot of times they want yes men. You're not willing to be a yes man and just go along to get along, then, you know, they got to get rid of you. You get what I'm saying? So, you know, that just goes with it, and I don't regret it. I stood on business, you know what I'm saying? So, and they've been catching hell ever since at that same jail. People still leaving, people still quitting, you know what I mean? So it really was not a loss at all. But it's just sad to see officers end up in a situation. Like I said, if things don't work out, things just don't work out. But when you let an inmate get in your head and in between your legs, you have definitely failed the assignment. So, you know, I hate that you got officers who get in this type of situation, but it happens frequently, and you know, it's not gonna end. She's not the first, and she's not gonna be the last. This happens every day. You know, when you hire these new rookie female officers, they don't know what to expect. They need to do more classes and more courses of inmate manipulation. I don't really think they stress that enough, because that's the biggest problem. That's what's getting a lot of officers messed up, getting fired and terminated. They need to do more training on inmate manipulation, especially with these rookie officers. I guarantee you, they told her a few things to look out for, but they didn't tell you everything. Listen, I will be a phenomenal instructor in inmate manipulation, because I know too well how it goes. You get what I'm saying? So they need people that are experienced and don't mind coming into these facilities, you know, with these new hires and putting these female officers on game. And you do have male officers that get manipulated, but those are mostly the young ones, you know what I mean? But yeah, you know what I'm saying? But it's embarrassing, and you know, goes against her post. Most likely she'll never be able to be another officer in the state of Mexico or whatever. And even if she were to move to another state, because she's well known, her face has been seen, I don't think another agency will ever hire her. And at this point, she's probably too embarrassed, ashamed to even ever go back into corrections. You know what I'm saying? But this is not for the weak. You can't be a woman who lacks low self-esteem, who's attention seeking. You can't be a woman that's in a relationship with a man who does not give you attention. You got to be careful working in these type of environments, because these inmates are smart and they will prey on the weak. So anyway, y'all, leave your opinion below. Let me know what y'all think about this situation. And I'm going to be doing some more, you know, corruptions and corrections series every once in a while. Let me know if y'all like these type of series. I don't want to keep doing content on something that y'all might not really be into. If y'all are really into corrections, law enforcement officers who get exposed, who get caught up, let me know. I will continue to do more. But anyway, y'all, it's your girl, your diva knowledge, Lady Mocha, representing Mocha's Cafe de Paris and Mocha's Ladies Lounge. Y'all have a blessed weekend, and until then, y'all take care, and I'll be hollering at y'all soon. Bye.